I am Dr. Tomlinson, and we have a lesson today. It's English Language Arts. Do you like to read? Oh, it's going to be fun. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Now, if you're watching the video, that's okay. But make sure you have a pen and paper always when you come to these lessons. There's good information, and you might want to write some of it down, okay? Some of it might be on your test, right? Okay, I'll get you ready. And now, also, if you're watching the video, you can rewind and you can pause, read every slide, and do the activities. They're really fun and you can learn a lot. Okay, so are you ready? We're going to get going. Welcome. So, this is what our lesson is about. Okay, are you paying attention? Now, I want you to type in the chat if you're here and be sure and participate. Okay, and I want everyone to read aloud. That doesn't mean read loud or even out loud, but you can read to yourself like you're talking to me, and it's good practice. Don't worry, I'll help you with the hard words. Okay? Here we go. Are you ready? I'll highlight as we go. It's non-linear. We talked about this yesterday, remember? Plot development. We're going to tell a story and it has a plot. Do you know plot? Okay. So nonlinear, is it happening just one thing right after another? One, two, three. It happens chronologically? No. Non-linear, linear is like a line, right? And non-linear is things are mixed up. Do you ever see movies like that where they change the order and you have to kind of put yourself in the timeline? So we're going to try to do that today. Okay? Today we're going to analyze, we're scientists, right? Dr. Sky. Analyze non-linear plot development, such as, did you learn this yesterday? Flashbacks. It's in the past, right? Foreshadowing. I can see the future. Subplots. Are there other little things going on all the time? Is this your life? Do you live a soap opera? I know we have subplots always. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm flipping slides. There you go. Want to make sure you get it, okay? Okay. Now, parallel. What is parallel? Does anyone know here? It goes alongside like a street parallel. It's at the same time. It goes in the same direction, right? Parallel. I live in parallel universes to you, right? Okay. And to compare it to linear plot development, just regular old stories. So, is that hard for you? Oh, don't worry. I know you can do it. Here, I'm going to make it big for you so you can see it really good. Is that better? Okay. Not really. So, can you read with me? Let's read. Sometimes authors get creative when telling their story. They use a variety of narratives to create a meaningful story. Okay, can you write me a story? Can you just tell a story? Maybe you could do that. Okay. So let's continue. I'd like to talk about careers. Do you have a career? Do you do you like anything? Are you good at it? What do you like to do? Who is here? Okay. No one. Oh, okay. Explain. We are explaining as we go. Okay. Now, if you come on, you have to read. Okay. I hope you will read with me. All right. It's very important that we all read. Okay. Elvin wants to read. Is there anyone else here that would like to read? So, how about a video game designer? Could you do that? Oh, do you know coding? How many of you know coding? Hey, Elvin, would you like to read?
Yes, teacher, of course.
Okay. I've got a reader. So let's read. What is the average salary of someone that designs a game? Can you read this number?
Yes, teacher, of course. 70,000.
70,000 annually. Wow. Is that a lot?
Yeah,
I
it's
think it
a
is.
lot of
I
money.
think it is. Now, if you do the math, you could probably divide it by 12 and figure out how much they make every month. It's a lot.
Mhm.
So it can go up to what's this one?
103,000 annually develop user friendly.
$103,000. Now, the dollar sign is before, but you say it after. Okay. So $70,000 or up to
Mhm.
103,000. Now, you're doing a great job. Continue reading here. What do
Yes,
they
teacher.
do? I'm going to change the color and go along. Develop user friendly. Read along.
Okay. Develop user-friendly games for computers, mobile device, and website sites.
Brainstorming. Do you know what brainstorming is? Do you just think of anything and you get really good at being creative if you can brainstorm? So, do you know how to code? It's
When reading code,
computer language. It's really good to learn. And they even teach the kids how to do it. And you can learn in your STEM classes. Oh, they're so fun. So, would you like to be a video game designer?
of course, teacher, more or less, I like to understand to computer games.
Do you play video games?
Not so much, sometimes,
Oh,
because I don't like to dedicate time for play PlayStation game.
I
Because I
see.
don't consider that. I don't use and spend the time in that.
So, what are the skills needed to be a game designer? Can
I
you
don't have
read?
a, yes.
Oh, you can't see it, can you? Let me make it big. Now, do you have the web app?
Okay, yes.
There you go. What are the skills that we need to be a video game designer? Can you read that?
Yes. Skills needed.
What are they?
The skills needed.
Creativity,
Mhm.
problem
The
solving,
technology sky skills.
technology skills. Oh gosh, like you got to be good on computers. What about, do you need any kind of degree or a certification?
Maybe in a vacation to using the PlayStation game. I don't usually to take the time in this advice to play um
So it may require a bachelor's degree, but a lot of companies will hire you based on your experience and design. So I would recommend maybe you could have a portfolio if you're good at it and you could show the different things you've done for fun. Okay. So that's a pretty good career. Would you like to do that? I think it would be kind of fun because you can create games. All right. So let's do some vocabulary. You know vocabulary? It's
yes, teacher,
words.
of course.
What are flashbacks?
The flashback, it is something we can analyze in front of us.
Oh, so it takes place. Can you read? A scene
A
that
scene,
takes place
okay. A scene
before.
started taking place before us begins.
Right. And so that's in the past, right? What is foreshadowing?
Foreshadowing. The shadow,
Foreshadowing.
the foreshadowing is something that be behind of us. For example,
Okay.
say something.
So it's a literary device that we use when we're telling a story to give an indication or hint of what's to come. So it's in the future, right? It's in the future. Can you guys write that down? Flashbacks are in the past and foreshadowing's in the future. So what is a subplot? Do you know what a plot
The
is?
the blood.
Yeah.
But the blood is the something it cannot be when cannot be the when the something well inside of. For
Right.
say something about the history something and the past time.
Right. So a side story, this is a subplot. It's something that's happening while a big story's going on. And it runs parallel. Now here's parallel. What is parallel? They go
There's
right
another word.
beside each other, right? So in writing, the writer weaves two or more dramatic plots, and they're usually linked by a common character. Can you see all the words? Can you see it all? Now,
Yes,
if you
teacher.
okay, good. So
I
I
can to see, but don't be anywhere.
okay. So now you know we're going to talk specifically about flashbacks. What does this say?
A scene that takes place before a history
Right. And say this word again, takes place.
takes place
Thank
before
you.
a history.
Right. That ES, many people put another syllable on the ES. Take is, that's not correct. And we will know you don't know your English good. So example, here's an example of a flashback. Would you help me read?
Yes, teacher. Of
Let's
course.
read together, okay?
Okay.
The
The
backfiring of a bus
backfiring of the
sent
boss and
the older man
the other man
spiraling, spiraling like
back
spinning, right? Back to his youth. He could hear
called here
the guns firing
guns.
and his comrades
Comrades
shouting.
shouting.
Adrenaline rushed
Adrenaline
through him,
rush to take it
taking his
in
breath,
his breath
leaning
in
against the
again
sign for
the
the bus stop.
stop.
He covers his
Covers his
ears,
ears,
trying to
trying,
staunch the
trying
flow
mouth
of memories.
memories.
Uh oh. Is this a flashback? And this is, I think, where the word flashback came from. It's people that have been in a war because it stays with you, right? And it's traumatic. So, this is an example of a flashback. He's thinking back into the past. Okay. Here's another example. And this is, oh, this is a good example. Have you ever been married? Okay. This is a scene that takes place before a story begins. Okay. Before. You want to read with me?
Yes, teacher, of
You're
course.
doing great. Let's keep going. As she
As
put on
put
her
there
veil,
where
her
her
mind
mind
wandered back
wanders back
2 years
to
before
yours
when
when
Eddie
Eddie
promised
promised
he'd
he
make
made
her
or
his wife.
voice
A tear
here
slid
led
down her
down his
face as
face.
she realized this was the day she would become Mrs.
Mrs.
Eddie
Eh,
Johansson.
wow.
Is that a good flashback?
Yeah, teacher,
I
of
think
course.
she's happy, right? Oh, I love these. So I think she's very happy. And she's thinking of a good time that she had in her past. Oh, I have to give you a smiley. Are you liking it? Okay. Are we learning? Now, this is another one. It's called foreshadowing. Remember it? Oh, here's my smiley again. Foreshadowing. Can you say it? Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. Now,
Foreshadowing.
good. Now, let's read. It's really hard. There's a lot of good reading in here. Ready? I'll make it
Yes,
big.
teacher.
Okay. Let's go big with this thing. Is that better? Can you see better?
Yeah. Yes,
Good.
teacher. Of course. More or less.
Sometimes a
Sometimes
future
a future
event
event
is mentioned
mentions
earlier in the
earlier
story,
events,
like a
like a
comment
comment
about a
about a
meeting
meeting
between
between
characters.
characters.
The reader
Reader
already
already
knows
knows
that issues will be
issues will be
discussed
diffused.
later. A
A
pre-scene
present
shows
shows
something
something
that will
that will
reoccur.
occur.
For
For
example,
example,
in a
it's
Western
a Western
movie,
movie.
the good
The
guy
good
enters a
guy
bar,
enterprise
has a drink,
has a ring
and leaves.
and leaves.
The
The
bad
bad
guy
boy
scowls
scouts
and
and
spits
spreads
on the
the
floor,
floor,
and you know
and you
there
know
is
there's
definitely more
definitely
to come
more
between
close
them.
between them.
If you've seen a Western, they're so fun. Okay, I'm going to bring it up. Let's keep going. Heightened
The
concern
CERN
is
is
also
also
used to
used for
foreshadow
shadow
events.
and
A
a
child
child
leaves the
leave the
house,
house
and the
and
parent is
parent is
overly
overly
concerned about them.
about them.
The
The
child
child
tells the
the
parent
parents
not to
not to
worry,
worry.
that everything will
Everything
be
will be
fine.
fine.
Readers will
Rivers
see
will
this
see this
worry
worry.
as a
Precursor
precursor to the
to the
danger
danger
coming
coming
soon.
soon.
Are you following it? Oh, this is good. Here's another one. Ready? A
Yeah,
gun
gun
is a
is a
sign of
sign of
upcoming
upcoming
events.
events.
Sometimes it will be
Sometimes
hidden
it is
in a
hidden
drawer or
lower
glove
or glove
compartment.
compartments.
Okay, that's like in a
Beautiful.
car. Glove
It's a
compartment.
wonderful test. I like it.
So here's foreshadowing. Now, this is in the future. Okay. And what is foreshadowing? Let's read. Worry
Worry,
or apprehension
apprehensions
of a
of
character
characters
also
also
foreshadows.
foreshadow.
This
This may
like, this may be shown
be shown
with
with
facial
facial
expressions,
expressions,
gestures, gestures like your hands are moving, or words. At this
this
point,
point,
the readers don't
readers don't
know
know
what is
what
wrong,
to
but
put.
they
They
anticipate
anticipate
finding
finding
out.
out.
Anticipate. It's so exciting. Do you anticipate? I know. Here, I'm going to make it really dark. Anticipate. Okay, so let's keep going. Characters
There's those can
can foreshadow.
foreshadows. For
Example,
example,
I told
told
myself
myself
this is the
this is
end
the
of
end
my
of my
trouble,
trouble,
but I
but
didn't
I didn't
believe
believe
myself.
myself.
Oh no. Let's do another. Here we go. Narration
Ration
can
can
foreshadow
foreshadow
by
by
telling
telling
you
you
something is
something
going to
to
happen.
happen.
Details
Details
are often
they
left
often left
out,
out,
but the
but the
suspense
sense
is created
creates
to keep
to keep
readers
readers
interested.
interested.
Good. Keep the inflection. Make it sound like I am. I'm making it sound like a story and like a narrator or voiceover on radio. So you just want to read and keep it interesting. You're doing a great job. Let's keep
Yes,
going,
thank
Elvin.
you.
For example,
Pause.
the character wakes
Characters
up
wakes up.
and the
The
narrator
narrator
talks
narrator could talk
about
about
how this is going
going to
to be
be
the
the
longest
longest
day of his
day
life.
of his life.
Okay, now predictions. This is all
Uh,
about the future. Oh, let me change the color. It helps to have the different colors. Predictions
and King
can
can
obviously
obviously
foreshadow.
foreshadow
Examples are
examples.
the character
Character
losing a talisman or reading
reading
her
her
horoscope. They're
or
telling the future, right? With those things.
yes,
Okay, now one more. Here it's symbolism.
symbolism.
Ready?
Yeah,
Symbolism is
is
often
often
used for
used for
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
This might be a
Following
lone animal,
animal
such as a
such as
bird
bear,
or a wolf.
wolf,
Storm
storm
clouds
cloud,
are often
or used,
are used often.
used often.
Oh my goodness. Are you reading along? I hope so. Now I can see I have superpowers. I'm a teacher. So I can see if you are reading and I can hear you. Okay. It does help to read aloud. Are there some hard words? Yeah, there's some hard words, but you guys are just doing amazing. Good job.
Thank you,
All
teacher.
right. So let's keep going.
Okay.
All right. And this one is called, remember, subplots. Let me give you it on the big screen.
Subplots.
Subplots. Okay, it's what's happening while a story's happening. Let's read. Ready?
Yeah.
A side
I
story
sorry.
that runs
Runs
parallel
parallel
to the
the
main
main
plot.
plots.
It has a secondary
Secondary
strand
strand
of
of
characters
characters
and
and
events that
events
can
info
infuse important
important
information
information
into the
into the
main
main
storyline.
stories.
Are you getting it? Okay, I hope you're reading. It's high level. Okay, here's an example. Do you know Harry Potter?
Yes, teacher, of course.
Oh,
I saw this
good.
movie.
Oh, the movies are great. So here is
Mm,
about the Harry Potter series. Let's read, okay?
okay.
In the Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter
series,
series.
a subplot
Subplots
involves
was
Hermione
her
Granger, who is
who is
able
able to take
more classes
classes
than she
than
should
she used.
due to a time travel device. Are you reading?
Number
Is
five.
this too hard for you all? Oh, this is too hard for you. We can try again later. Keep reading if you can. The Prisoner of Azkaban. If you don't know how to say it, it's okay. Just pretend you do and sound it out. Ready? We learn of the subplot when the
We plot
time
the
travel
time
device
travels
becomes
life
useful
becomes
for
useful
Harry
for Harry
and his
and
friends
his
in
friends.
the main plot
And
of the novel. So if you're reading, or you can be watching it on a movie, right? Elvin's seen the movie. So the Prisoner of Azkaban, and Harry and his friends are doing something, but while that is happening, something else is going on, right? Hermione is thinking she might need to take more classes in time travel. So it's all happening at the same time, right? It's called a subplot. Okay, here's another example of a subplot. Do you guys know science? Oh, it's very good. Okay, let's read. Ready?
Yes,
In
teacher.
Big Bang Theory, the main plot follows the friend. Are you all following the main plot? Are you following what we're talking about? Can you understand? Does anybody know the Big Bang Theory? It's science, right? The Big Bang Theory, the main plot follows the friend group of nerds, but each nerd has their own subplot. Have you seen this movie? The Big Bang Theory? Has anybody seen it? Oh, it's really good. So all these nerds are doing something, right? Like Leonard. You see Leonard? Can you say that word? Leonard? It's
Learners.
Leonard. Like Leonard's relationship with his mom is a subplot that is secondary to the main point of the show. So in Big Bang Theory, they're doing something, but each of them are doing something different. Isn't that cool? So that's called subplot. So are you ready?
Yes, teacher, of
Now we're
course.
going to practice these new skills you just learned. Did you learn flashback and foreshadowing, parallel, and subplot? Can you remember? Now, how many of you took notes? I hope you're writing this down. So let's go. This time it's I do. All right. So I'm going to read the paragraph below with Elvin's help and then identify the phrase that signals the beginning of a flashback. What's a flashback, Elvin?
Yes, teacher, of course.
What's a flashback?
The flashback is something when they cannot say something in front of face
It's in
because
the
it's something.
past.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so now you all pay attention and we're doing all the work here, Elvin. Let's read. Emily loved listening to music. You're not reading. It will help you with your inflection and your intonation and your fluency if you read along. Emily loved listening to music while she cooked dinner for her family. It was her one guilty pleasure in the hustle of the week. While stirring the soup, a familiar beat played from the speakers. She was transported to 2002. Oh, is this when it happened? She went back in time right here. Should we make it a different color? I know. It looks like she went back in time. She transported. Did she physically transport? No, she's just thinking about it. Okay. Transported to 2002 when Adam sunk to one knee while opening the ring box. Do you know what the ring box is? I think she got asked to be married, guys. Do you know this one? I know. It's so cute. Okay, I'm going to change the colors. You want to keep reading? She had never felt so happy, so alive, so loved. Oops, it went too high. So high. Can you see it all? She knew she chose the right man when he cried after
Oh
she
yes.
said yes. She was brought back to the present. Oh, I think this is a different point in time, right? brought back to the present when the sound of her children arguing interrupted her memory. Okay. So, when did the flashback start? In the past. What was she doing when she thought about
She she is very very happy.
she
Is it
was
about
thinking
that?
about being happy,
Yeah.
right? And why was she so happy? She felt so
Um.
happy, so
She know.
alive.
She know. She justified the defies man, the right man.
Oh, that's right. He asked her to marry her. So that's a flashback and she's remembering it. Okay. Now, there is a plot in this. She loved listening to music while she was cooking dinner. So she's cooking dinner, and that's what's happening. But the subplot is him opening the ring box and crying when she said yes. Okay. So let's see if we can do another one here. There she is. She was transported to 2002. Okay. This is the beginning of the flashback. Did you all get that? Is it too hard? I know this is kind of hard, but let's try another, okay? Do you know Romeo and Juliet?
Yes, I know the history. The
You
come
know it?
like this and that.
Oh, it's so good. And
It's a wonderful. It's a wonderful history.
who wrote Romeo and Juliet?
Yes, I know that the history
Does
is
anyone
wonderful.
know who wrote the play? Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? Does anybody know? Okay. William Shakespeare. Have you read any Shakespeare? Now, this is high level, so I'm sorry if I'm going over your head. William Shakespeare wrote this. So, Juliet, and let's read, okay? You can read the sentence. Go ask his name if he be
He
married.
married
My
my
grave
grave
is like to be my wedding bed.
bed.
Oh, Shakespeare is really hard. You think this is hard reading? Oh, this is really hard. Now, Juliet wanted to find out Romeo's name, right? So go ask his name, right? She said, if he is married, it will be the death of her. So that's what that means. My grave is like to be my wedding bed. Does everybody understand that? I know it's a little hard. You see, it's right here. My grave is like to be my wedding bed. If he was married, then she knows that he could not marry her. So here's the answer. Juliet mentions how her wedding bed will be her grave if Romeo is married. Foreshadowing. So she's thinking ahead of her death on their wedding night, and that happens later in the play. Do you guys remember that? Foreshadowing. I know. She's thinking of the future. So let's do another one. Will you help? It's called divergent. Can you say that word? Divergent.
Divergent.
Good job. Divergent.
Divergent for me. Divergent is the people they don't know the man for having a sibling and sons.
So this is a novel. It's called Divergent, okay?
Yeah.
It's a novel. Now, in the novel Divergent, Tris is the person in the novel, is learning how to be divergent in a society that condemns them
Them
and
and
training to
raining
be
to be
dauntless.
done.
She is also discovering what her
Covering a
relationship
relationship with
with
four
four means.
men.
Based on this description,
Lipson.
what's the
Listen.
subplot? A. Tris is learning to be divergent. B. Tris and Four's
For
relationship.
relationship.
C, society
Society
condemns
terms
divergence.
divergence.
Or D, Triss
3.
is training to
Trying
be
to be
dauntless.
dauntless.
So, what's the subplot? What's going on here in the novel? What is she doing?
Well,
Learning
she was
how
learning
to
how the beast
be
divides,
divergent,
right?
right?
Society, they condemns them and training.
And what is the subplot? She is also she is also
Discovering
subplot
what her relationship with
with
four men.
four means. So four is the other person in the story, Triss and four, it looks like. So the subplot, what do you think, guys? Is it B? The relationship is the subplot? What do you think? Did
I
you
think the
guess?
her relationship, it is someone have some relationship in common with someone. It was
Very
different.
good. Good. Did you see it? Okay. So it says the correct answer is B because their relationship adds tension to the story and weaves with the main plot. Now you see. So, everyone, okay, let's read. Are you ready?
Yes,
In
teacher.
the novel
But
13
13
Reasons
reasons
Why,
why
the
the
narrator
narrator
switches
switches
between
between
Clay
eyes
and
and
Hannah
Hannah
for
for
the
the
duration
duration
of the
of the
story.
ages.
This is an
This
example
example,
of, okay, what is it? He switches between the two people. We have Clay and we have Hannah. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of tennis, watching a tennis game. And it goes back and forth from Clay to Hannah to Clay to Hannah. So, what is an example of if it goes back and forth? It's at the same time. What do you think? Is it a subplot? Is it foreshadowing in the past? No, foreshadowing's in the future. Is it a parallel plot? Is it happening at the same time? Clay and Hannah, their lives are happening at the same time, and the narrator switches back and forth, right? Or is it a flashback? Are they thinking back? A, B, C, or D? Susie says C. No, it's D this time. What? No, it's happening at the same time. My guess is parallel, right? They're switching back and forth. Here it is, parallel. The correct answer is C. Clay's story is told through the narration, while Hannah's story is told through the tapes. Both plots exist in the same time and space. It's parallel. I always say I'm living in a parallel universe to you, right? It's all happening at the same time. Okay, here's another one. Are you ready? Before I entered, Elvin, what happened? Before I entered, you can come back. Did we run out of time? Oh, my friend was helping me. So before I entered the cave, I saw dried blood and the markings of a snake. Everything inside my body told me to turn around, but I refused to listen. This is an example. Now, if there's a snake in the room, remember from yesterday, the snake. Hi, Mara. Probably, another 30. Let's see, how much time do we have left? 20 minutes? I have about 20 minutes. So, what is this? Do you think there's a snake in there? What do you think? Is it foreshadowing? Because we don't know for sure. The correct answer is B. The author uses sensory details to help the reader understand that beyond the door holds a terrible fate. What's beyond the door? Uh-oh, they entered the cave. They saw some blood, and oh, there might have been a snake. We don't know. It's markings. We don't know, right? And the body said turn around, but he didn't. He just kept going. It's foreshadowing. Okay, that one was B. I know these are hard, but you're doing great. What words indicate the start? Now, this is the beginning of the flashback. Okay, let's use a different color. Yellow shows up good. Okay, ready? Let's read. If you can't read it all, you can listen, but I'd like for you to take notes so that you know what the answer is, okay? What begins this flashback? We're going back in time. Ready? Sitting on the bus surrounded by the working class of New York City, Eric began to drift off to sleep. So, what is he doing? What is Eric doing? Sitting on the bus. Okay, but then he starts sleeping, right? Drifts off to sleep. Then what happens? Ready? Keep reading. Let's go. He startled awake at the sound of a baby crying. It was midnight again, and he could not console his crying newborn. Everything he did seemed to make it worse, and he felt the panic rising up. Thankfully, through his delirium, he realized the baby crying was not his own. Did he have a baby before? When did this all begin? When did he start thinking about that baby crying? When he heard the sound of a baby crying, did it remind him of when he had a baby and he was trying to, maybe it was in the middle of the night and it woke up and he couldn't get it to go back to sleep and stop crying? It was midnight again. That's when the flashback started. The sound of the baby crying did it. Okay, so it was midnight again indicates he's leaving the present to catch up with a memory from the night before. Okay, your turn. Are you good at it? Can you do it? I know you can. Come on. It's not that hard. I know I lost Elvin. Elvin was helping me. You did great, Elvin. Thank you. So, are you ready to read? Now, if you're watching the video, be sure and read. Let's go. Oh, you want a different color? Okay, let's do this one. This is a nice color. Ready? Darius is designing the latest warfare game for PC gamers. He has spent hours getting the perfect graphics for each game. While designing the game, while he is struggling with school, which is causing him to fail. Identify the subplot. So, what is Darius doing? Hi, Rihanna. What is Darius doing? And so, what's happening while he's so busy creating these games? Is he just playing around? Now, he might make a lot of money if he makes that game, but should he be in school? A, he's struggling with school. B, he's designing the latest game. C, he's designing a game for PC users. Or D, he spent hours looking for the perfect graphics. We want to know, what is the subplot? Okay, we'll make this a different color. Subplot. What is the subplot? It's happening at the same time he's doing this game. And probably because he's doing this game, it's causing it, right? Right, because designing the game, designing it for PC users, and spending hours designing the graphics, it's all designing the game, right? But A, he's also struggling with school. and this is a subplot. You guys, are you getting it? Darius is designing the latest game, but at the same time, he's not going to pass his school subjects if he spends too much time on the game, right? He could yeah, he could have to stay in school. The main plot is that he is designing a game for PC gamer. The subplot is what we were trying, and that's what this question is. Be sure you pay attention to the question. Or additional plot, okay? Subplot. It's happening at the same time. Is struggling with school. That will merge with the main plot later because he probably doesn't pass, right? Uh-oh. Let's find out. Are you ready? Is this Bella from our video at the beginning? Remember Bella? How are you? I know we start very easy and we get harder. Ready? Let's read. Okay, we'll do a different color. This is a nice one. Ready? Twilight is told from the narrative of Bella, and Midnight Sun is told from the narrative of Edward. Edward's telling the story, Midnight Sun, right? And Bella is telling the story, Twilight. These stories happen at the exact same time. This is an example of what? The same time. Is it a subplot? It's just one little thing that's happening over here. No. Is it foreshadowing? What is foreshadowing? Is that in the future? Oh, Amon's got it. C. Parallel. Is it happening at the same time? Oh, Elvin, come back up. Or D. A flashback. Did it happen in the past? Parallel. Oh, good job. Let me see if I can help you to celebrate. I know these are so fun. I've got to do it because you're working so hard. And why isn't my camera on? I'm sorry. Okay, so we want to celebrate because you guys are doing very good. Thank you for coming to class. And I hope you're taking notes. Okay, did you get it? I know these are really hard. Let's keep going. Oh, here's Harry Potter again. Come back, Elvin. Help me to read. I need help. I can't do this all myself. Okay, here it is. In Harry Potter, are you ready? Can you read it? I'll bring it up. Harry is the wizard who is going to save wizards and muggles from Lord Voldemort. He also, oh boy, that's tipping us off, develops a wonderful friendship with Hermione and Ron. What's the subplot? What does Harry do? He's really good at it, right? I'm not gonna, oh, I don't have ABCD. You have to tell me. I know. Isn't this hard? What is the subplot? So, what's the plot? What's Harry up to? He's a wizard. Good, Elvin. Now, you can keep typing in the chat, or I'd love for you to hop on. Here we go. Oh, good. Come on up. Elvin is so brave. You guys could be as brave as Elvin. All right, Elvin. We're talking about Harry Potter again. Are you ready?
Yes, teacher. I love the history about the Harry Potter.
You love Harry Potter. So, what does Harry do in this story?
Harry is the wizard, but
Oh,
Harry is the person more intelligent for using the magic with people enemy of him.
so what is our subplot? What's happening while Harry is being a wizard?
The wizard, when he uses the magic with the wood.
Oh, he develops a friendship with these
Yes, because
guys?
he's ready for the friendship
Oh,
and
okay.
social with her friends.
Okay. Excellent. I think you got it. Wait. Oh, I have to be sure. Let me get back in here because I have to do this in order to give you one of these. And because you're doing a good job, I have to celebrate. I just love these.
Oh,
Good
thank
job,
you.
Elvin. Okay, so we're going to continue on. It's almost over, and I get so sad when it's almost over. I know it's too fun. So I'm going to make this big, and we're going to read again. Okay, I know you like to read. This one's from The Lion King. You know that one? Have you read it? Or they have a movie too. Have you seen the movie, The Lion
I
King?
have I have some I don't say the movie because I'm running busy with a home university
Oh.
and then reading something book
Oh, good. It
about
is
the
a
my
very
present
good
home.
novel. So now we have to find an example of foreshadowing. Do you remember what foreshadowing is? Oh, Susie C.
Foreshadow
Hi, what is foreshadowing?
the foreshadow when there is some is something that people can't see and near them.
Oh, is it the future?
No,
Future
in the
foreshadowing
present,
is in the future.
in the future.
Okay. So in this passage, let's pay attention to why this is talking about the future. So you want to read, Alvin?
Yes,
Simba, go ahead.
Samba, Samba, let me tell you something. My father told him I
Told
cannot see very
me.
well.
Oh, is it falling off? I'll help you. Look at the stars. The great kings
Great
of the
kings, the
past
past,
look down on
on
us
us from those
from those
stars.
stars.
Those stars.
So, whenever you
Whenever
feel
you,
alone, just
you just
remember
remember
that those
those
kings will
kings
always
will
be
always
there to guide you.
guide you.
And so will
Will
I.
I,
Oh,
will
that's a very,
I.
is that the ending? I love that one. So, what is he saying is going to happen in the future?
In the future, maybe something I'm going to do in another time.
Ah, so in here, let's see, what does it say? The great kings of past look down on us. So whenever you feel alone, is that in the future? So whenever you feel alone, does that look like the future? What does he do when he feels alone?
When it says alone, is when they go, is when the people, when these people going to be making something alone with, we needed something hard with them with somebody because he have to be able to resolve be herself.
Yeah. So whenever you feel alone, you just remember about something. What do you remember?
Of course, maybe something I can remember with always.
Those kings will always be there to guide you. And then he says, is this the lion telling him this? Simba? And so will I. Oh, that's so good. Did you guys get that one? That was kind of hard. So in the future, when does that mean the Lion King isn't going to stay there? He's going to leave, but he'll be there in spirit, right? He'll always be there to guide you. That is the example. So, do we have any questions? I know this was hard. Do we have questions? I do. I could show a video, or we could
Question,
practice some more.
I believe not. Just I'm a pay attention to attending to the class.
Oh, well, maybe I could do an activity. So can you tell me, oh, let me see if I can find one here. Okay, I'll show you a visual and we can do it on this. Okay, here goes. Ready? My internet is a little slow, but I think you'll be able to see this okay. Then maybe not. Okay.
Oh, wonderful. What
What
is
is
that?
that?
They're all visuals and on author's
Okay.
purpose. I'm going to try to make one big for you and you can see it. Oh, that isn't the right one. Okay, so let me see if I can get this one to go. Can you see the video? Let's see if we can find an example of this. This is going to show you the voice of the author, and the voice is like a narrator that tells the story, right? Oh, it's not showing the right page. Okay, that didn't work. My internet's too slow to bring it up. So, do you have questions? Oops, here it is. Can you see
If you're a
this?
college student like me, especially, you need Grammarly is a digital writing
Did you ever
assistant,
use
and
Grammarly?
it's to download onto your
Oh,
Chrome
here it is.
browser. I use it to draft emails for obviously my college assignments, essays, and even applying to internships. So there's some detective
Have you used
helps you check your writing
Grammarly
across.
before? Grammarly is really resource. Okay, can you see this?
The first one is
No, you
voice.
can't. Okay.
That's the author's writing style that makes his or her writing unique.
Oh,
A
here
writer
it is.
uses certain words to show his or her style. An author's voice may change depending upon the genre of a text. If you get hooked on a certain series of
Can you see
books,
that?
let's say maybe Harry Potter
We were
or
just about
Percy
Harry
Jackson,
Potter.
some of those different series, you'll get used to the author's voice. All of the writing sounds the same because the author is using his or her style. Another author's technique is mood. Mood is the emotions and feelings of the reader while text. A mystery novel might have a suspenseful or surprising mood. A fantasy text might create a mood of wonder or excitement. Whereas if I'm reading an informational article, the mood might be a little bit more serious and thoughtful. Author's craft also includes anecdotes. Anecdotes are short, funny, or interesting stories related to a character or events. Here's an example. While on a school trip, a teacher tells her students about a field trip she once took with her classmates. Inserting those 2 or 3 little sentences that tells a story really reveals a lot to the reader, possibly about the main character or the problem or possibly even the solution. Authors craft their text with very purposeful language. This is a thoughtful selection of the vocabulary, the nouns, the sensory words, the vised verbs. These thoughtful selections of words help make the text much more interesting. Look at this example. Instead of saying, Selma ate popcorn, each kernel of the buttery popcorn crunched loudly in Selma's mouth. That's author's craft using language right there. Tons of sensory images, great vivid verbs like crunched, precise nouns like kernel. The last technique of author's craft is a hyperbole. Those are exaggerations that make things sound bigger or better or way more than what they truly are. I could say that's a good idea, Or I could say, that's the best idea I've ever heard in my life. That's exaggerated. It might not be the biggest and best idea ever, but using that hyperbole gives the piece of writing more ideas for the reader, and it
Oops.
makes it a lot more interesting. So as we are
What
reading together this
happened?
week, and as you were reading
Okay, that
independently,
was good.
look for
Okay. Did
About
that help
teacher,
you a
do you
little
have
bit?
something?
Okay, so I'm done with the video. Do you have any questions?
No, teacher, anything.
No questions. So
No,
I was
nothing.
okay. So, Alvin, what level of English speaking are you? What do you think?
I
Self
am the I am
evaluate.
I am the English levels B1 intermediate.
The big words. And how do you practice your English?
I'm practicing the English with English movie English, reading English book,
Books?
practice with other people, and improve my listen with listening English music. I
Oh,
also different mental store for improve and learn about English with new vocabulary in the world.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Mm,
I'm going to change my headphones. You're talking really fast.
okay,
Hang
okay.
So I think it might help people.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, teacher, clearly and more high
Good. I can hear you a
and
lot
more
better.
strong and
So,
stronger.
do you have any advice for some other people who are learning English and they don't know what to do?
Teacher, by the way, I use to different stores so using and talking improve my English and practice the all the some days.
Have you ever, can you write English?
Yes, teacher.
Do you ever write stories or poetry? What do you write?
I'm write there are routines, write songs, and to this and to listen something from like I decided
Oh, that's
dictation.
great. That's great. Now, do you
And
have, oh, go ahead.
I going to write something history about the Spartacus, um, the Mermaids, the history too about the Jesus Christ, and like this. Something very interesting stories I going to write. But I have a little sign I don't use that method for improve my writing.
Excellent. So, did some of the writing instructions I give you today, will that help you with your writing in the future?
Uh, by the way, I don't have a someone for helping this because the only people that I have on the help me is a teacher
Oh,
because I'm going to take a class on Sunday, intensive class English.
I see. I see. Are you planning? Did you say you were in school? Did you go to
What?
school? How did you?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. And what level of school have you gone to? Did you graduate?
University.
A
University.
university? I can tell
Yes.
you have very good English. Now, does your English help you with your skills as far as finding a job?
Yes, teacher. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the work, the job.
Yeah. So you're able to do a lot more with your English skills. What
Okay.
do you have a big goal for your life? What is your next big goal that you plan on doing? You have something
My my big goal that I have to find is of finalizing and conclude my university for to graduate and be a diploma.
excellent and to graduate.
Yes.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. And how close are you? How long will it take you before you'll be able to graduate?
First of all, when I finalize my career in graduate, I going to get the juice to have in the world for exercise my career when I going to study, and then
Ah,
put aside that I'm going to learn.
okay. So are you going to work while you're also going to school?
And I gone to school been before time when I was in the high school, but
Ah.
now like university now I don't usually to go there.
Do you get out of school for summertime?
Sometimes yes, more or less.
Not always. You have to keep working. I understand.
Hmm.
So what do you do for fun?
I do for my bond is to make it a word for have a good English for communicate with other people.
Do you help other people with their English?
Where somebody have in the basic, I help them.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's so good. It's very good. Now, do you have people there you can talk to at your home in
In my
English?
home, no. No, in
No?
my home, no. Outside. In the English school that I going to
See,
assist on
I
Sunday.
see. I see. So you can go and visit with them and practice your English. That's so good. How long have you been on Hallow?
In Halo, I have almost 2 years.
I thought so. I remembered you from before. You've taken some private lessons. So, um, did I ask you your big career goal? What are you going to be when you grow up? When you graduate? What are you studying? Oh no, Elvin. Cliffhanger. Did he already tell us? Oh, he does some great, great things. Thank you, Elvin. That was so fun. Sai, I don't know your language. Ni ama pandang. I can't read that. Could you put that in English? Just try a word or two. Thank you, Sanaya. Red Wayne. Did I say that right? Red Wayne? Hello and welcome. Oh, Susie, you're so good to me. Thank you. And I see June was here. Thank you, June. High five. Thank you for all the wonderful donations. Should we have another super simple song to go out with? I know that was hard reading. You guys had a hard time with that exercise we did, didn't you? I'm sorry. Was it hard? Now, I think I might have an appointment right after this in about 8 minutes. Let me make sure. It could have been 11, but I think it's 10. What time is it your time? Yeah, we have so much fun doing these classes. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so good to me. Thank you so much, you guys. They're throwing money at me. I love it. So I'm going to have to go. I've got a meeting with a friend from another country. Yes, we're just going to have a little chat. Do you all just do that? Do you just visit with your friends? Now, remember, if you don't spend time with your friends, you won't have any, right? All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up and I will see you next time. Next week, I'll be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the same time. Okay. I really enjoyed this class. You guys did wonderful. All right. I'm going to sign off. It's now Dr. Sky. Right. A lot of work to do now. Take good care, everyone. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I hope you learned something. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. Oh, good job, everyone. And thank you to all my YouTube viewers. This was so much fun. Wasn't Elman a great speaker and reader? He was a trooper through that whole show. Well, thank you all for being here. I am now Dr. Sky, and I'll be back again next